thank you. So here we are on reading number 34, August 20th, 2025. Kann a Stimme weinen? Can a mute person cry? Kann sie schreien, wenn es tut ihr weh? Can she scream when she's in pain? Sarah hat geweint und geschrien, aber sie hat in der ganzen Welt sich eingehalten, nicht herauszubringen, kein Wort. So Sarah cried and screamed, but in all of her pain, she restrained herself not to say any words. Es ist bald von Unheil geworden klar, als das Kind geht schwer. From the very beginning, it was clear that this was going to be a difficult delivery, not a simple delivery. Es ist schon gewesen zu morgens Mittagszeit und Sarah ist noch als nicht aufgebunden. It was already the next day, middle of the day, and Sarah still had not, I guess you say dilated, opened up. She was still very closed. Sie ist gelegen, abgegossene Mischweiß. She was lying there, covered with sweat, mit a verändert Ponym, with a changed face, a herausgesetzte Augen, with bulging eyes. The Hebam is a rein und a hois. The midwife came in and went out. An alte Goya, a Bobba, is gekommen, geworden, zu der Kinpetterin. An old woman, a Gentile old woman, came to check on the well-being of the mother in delivery, the mother in labor. Die Hand ihrer seinen gewähnt schwarz von der Erde. Her hands, the hands of this old woman, were black from earth. Sie hat grad gehalten inmitten groben Rippen. She had just now been involved in digging turnips. Bett seine gestanden Edenes Weibelech. Around the bed stood Jewish women and women in general. Jeder eine hat gegeben andere Eitzes. Each one had a different suggestion. Macht mis a Stumme her doch nicht, hat men Sachen gegeben Zeichnis. Because a new person doesn't hear, they were communicating with her through hand motions. Andere haben gerät zu Jakobin, was ist gestanden in Dreußen. Others were talking with Yaakov, who was standing outside. Mir hat getun allerlei Segules, there it is, on Refuas. They did all kinds of remedies say again? Of remedies and advice, medical advice. They were giving all different kinds of theories of how to help her. A Weibel was zeugt, a Kind, hat angezapft Milch von der Brust, und mir hat das gegeben, Sachen zu trinken. A woman who was nursing a child expressed milk from her breast, and this was given to Sarah to drink. Mir hat ihr de Land a Stickel Afikomen, was ist verblieben von Pesach. Sie soll das halten zwischen die Zehen. She was given a little piece of the Afikomen, which remained from Pesach. We're now 6 months after that, that she should hold this between her teeth. This was another one of these segulas. A flumme Yidne, a Geviter, hat a aufgelegte Hand auf Sarah's Bauch und gesucht a Spruch, a religious woman, a high with responsibility in the shul and in the community, had laid her hands on Sarah's belly and spoken some kind of mantra or prayer, more of a mantra than a prayer. Mir hat gebracht a Yid, was hat dem ersten Tag Rosh Hashanah gehat Maftil in Beis Midrash. They brought a Jew who had Maftir the first day of Rosh Hashanah in the synagogue. Hat a gelegt. Is there an echo, a wiedercall?
Everybody mute except you, Nechama.
Okay, but I'm going to ask Yaakov at some point. He's going to read here.
And he'll unmute then.
Okay. Hat aufgelegt die Hand auf dem Mezuzah und hat gesucht dem Posik. And I would like Yaakov to read that Posik. He put his hands on the mezuzah, on the door, and he said the following pasuk. Yaakov, would you?
Okay, said the following pasuk. Miher tsoya lehipatach velo yamut leshachat ve'al yachsor lechama. And it's interesting, he usually translates the Hebrew passages.
And he doesn't here.
He doesn't
here.
And I actually looked for this
pasuk
quote in Sfaria, and I couldn't find anything.
All right. Well, I couldn't either, so that's why I was turning to you. Okay. Hat euch dreimal überhazit die Psukim von, and here's another section. This you'll be able to. And he repeated 3 times the Psukim from
right, these
Hashem
Pakad et Sarah biz ad lemoed asher diberot ito Elokim. So the Hashem visited Sarah until the place where Hashem spoke to him.
I don't know why these are related to what's going on with Sarah, but a Weibel hat erzählt, als Gershons Weib hat a Schissel, a Zavos es seinen aufgeschrieben auf ihr heilige Werte. A woman said that Gershon's wife, remember the famous Pesha, had a bowl and there were holy words written on the bowl. Wenn bestellt weg die Schüssel über dem Noppel von die Gewinnerin, wird sie gleich geholfen. When you put this bowl on the navel of the woman in labor, she would be helped right away. This would be a helpful thing. Azak koach hat die Schüssel, als ob sie steht länger wie darf, können bei der Kimpenterin heraus die Gedärme. This bowl had such power that if it was left on the body longer than was needed, it would, the intestines of the woman in labor would come out. That's how powerful it was. Emes ist weg zu Gershons Weib, borgen die Schüssel, aber sie hat gegeben an Äußerheit, sie is gebrochen. So somebody went to ask Gershom's wife to borrow the bowl, but she gave a pretext. We remember the relationship between these two women. Is that the bowl was broken and was not available. Okay. Es ist wieder geworden Nacht und Sarah hat noch alt geschrieben. Es anstanden zwischen die Weiber Harmeder und Aspanisch. It had become night, and Sarah was still screaming, and there was now among the women, tensions and arguments. This was a very difficult situation. Einer hat gesagt, soll geben sollen Milch von der Ziege gemischt mit Honig. One of them said that they should give Sarah milk from goat's milk mixed with honey. A zweite hat geraten, Opfal von Täuben, vergossen mit Wein. A second one advised that they should give the opfal, the droppings from pigeons, which had wine spilled on it. Einer hat gebracht an abgebissenem Pitum von an Etrog, noch von verloren Verschönerhaber, und ein anderer am Matbeia abgesprochen von der Kadosh Rav Micheler Shlotchever. So one of the women brought the tip of an etrog from last year's Sukkot, and another one brought a coin that had been blessed by the holy rabbi of Zloteville. And they're bringing all these segulas. Man hat herumgebunden, die Kinpeterins Handgelenk vor dem, und man hat ihm gezeugen bis zum Beis Midrash. They tied around the wrist of Sarah's wrist a thread, and they pulled the thread to the synagogue. Dort hat man ihm zugebunden zum Titel von Aron Kodesh. There, they tied it to the door of the Holy Ark, of the Ark. Die dosige Segula hat man betracht als die letzte. This particular remedy, or I wouldn't even call it remedy, this particular amulet or good luck charm, or they thought would be the last. Ob sie helft nicht, helft schon gar nicht. If this didn't help, then nothing was going to help. This was the last possibility. Sarah hat gesollt ziehen mit der Hand azoi, sie soll öffnen das Aron Kodesh, aber der vor dem hat sich übergerissen und alle haben das gehalten, war ein schlechten Siemen. Sarah was supposed to pull her hand so that she would open the ark. This was a kind of, mystical relationship between her and the ark. But the string broke, and everyone thought of this as a very bad sign. Machmis die Impeterin ist stumm und taub, haben die Weiber gerät Eufen Kol. Because the woman in labor was mute and deaf, they were speaking freely. In die Hebam Elaine hat azugetun, the midwife herself said something. Ich hab Moira von dem Tag wird schon kein Void nicht sein. I'm scared. I'm afraid from this dough, I don't see any bread coming out. Wenn kon Gott raten das Kind. At least let's try and save the child. Was wird tun der Alman allein mit den Eufele? What's the widower going to do with the little child? Says sich schon emes zu schauen. You know, like somebody's going to come along for him. So dozeke Gazal ist schon von itzigen Rosh Hashanah hat sich angerufen Ayidna Agavita. So this decree is already from this Rosh Hashanah. Remember, they're in that season. Called out a woman who had some administrative standing in the synagogue. Steich, nedarf doch chat monen skvittel. What are you talking about? See, this woman was saying that this decree had already been declared or had already been written on this Rosh Hashanah. And the other one said, what are you talking about? The kvittel, the final decree, has not yet been written because there's still the time of tshuva before Yom Kippur. Amol geht men ahois a schwarz kvittel. Sometimes there's a black kvittel, a black, what would you say? A black prediction or a black decree, a black decree. Sarah hat sich mehr nicht gekonnt einhalten. Sarah could no longer restrain herself. Das Geschrei hat sich herausgerissen von der Kerl gegen ihr Willen. Her scream came out from her throat, ripped out of her throat, gerissen, ripped out of her throat against her will. Ich lebe noch derweil. I'm still living. Hat sie a yomer getun, auf Yiddish Loshen. She wailed in Yiddish language. Ich bin noch nicht tot. I'm not yet dead. Die Weiber haben gepflegte abgetreten auf Hinterweilers. The women were like frightened. Well, that last word is like quietly. I mean, they went off quietly, or I'm not sure how to translate that sentence. The women were
Gepflegte is like astonished.
Were astonished, but what is aufgetreten?
They walked back, stepped backwards.
Oh, step backwards quietly. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is now she's yelling. Wiedernes, again, a miracle. Sie ist nicht stumm. She's not mute. Gershon is gerecht. Gershon is correct. Menschen meiner, ich halte es schon nicht aus. Und a Weibel is a weggefallen Halushes. People, my people, good people, I can no longer stand this. And a woman fell unconscious. Yaakov is God nicht gewähnt dabei. Yaakov was at that point not there. Is gehad gegangen betten beim Shames ein neue Stickel Afikomen, weil das frühe Dickel ist herabgefallen und geworden beschmiert mit Blut. He was not there because he had gone to the shamus to ask for a new piece of afikomen, which she was going to hold in her teeth, another segula, because the first piece had fallen down and was covered with blood. Die Weiber haben alle genommen schreien mit dem Mund. The women all began to scream suddenly. Hat gehört in Pilitz das Gepilder und es ist geworden zu Neuf Geläuf. They heard this screaming was heard in Pilitz, and people began to gather there, to run there. The Chevra Kedisha Weiber seien sich angelaufen. The women of the Chevra Kedisha ran through. Sicher als die Gewinnerin is gestorben. They were sure that the woman labor had died. Gerät sie abzuhäuben und anzuzünden dem Messlicht zu Koppenes. They were ready to lift her and to light the candles near the head of the bed, that she was dead already. Seinen euch angekommen Mannsleid und der Chevra Kedisha. Also men from the Chevra Kedisha came. The Stube is geworden full. The house was packed. Die hat schier nicht eingebrochen das Bett, wo Sarah is gelegen. They almost broke the bed where Sarah was lying. Sarah hat in ihr Angst genommen reden auf Polish mit a polischen Nigeln. Sarah, in her anguish, in her troubles, began to speak Polish with a Polish intonation. Was wilt ihr von mir? What do you want from me? Geht von dannen, go away from here. Hat sie gerufen in der goyische Sprache. She said in the non-Jewish language. Ihr macht sich gut, aber ihr seid schlecht. You pretend that you're good, but you're really bad. Ihr wollt mich schon begraben und zu Schanzen, Jakobin, einer von eurer, aber ich lebe noch. You're wanting to bury me and to pair Yaakov up with one of you, but I'm still alive. Ich lebe und mein Kind lebt. I'm alive and my child is alive. Zu früh schreien. Breit ihr sich. You're enjoying, you're rejoicing too early, neighbors. Zu früh, too early. But Gott, der Allmächtige, wollt gewollt, ich soll sterben, wollt mich nicht gelost durchgehen, das alles, was ich bin durchgegangen. If God had wanted me to die, I would not have been able to endure everything that I've been through. Das ist nicht gewesen, kein Polish von a jüdische Tochter. This was not the Polish from a Jewish woman, nor from a Goya, only from a non-Jew. Die Weibel seien geworden weiß. The women became white. Finster ist mir, a Dibuk rett von ihrer Arois. Oh my God. Finster is mir. I'm finished. There's a Dibuk speaking inside her. In Sarah is a rein a Dibik. A Dibik has come into Sarah. Hot Emes in Dreusen, a Geschrei getun in der Nacht rein. So this was somebody outside who was saying, a Dibuk has entered into Sarah. And he said this into the night. Jeden in Pilitz haben schon gehabt gehört, voll von allerlei Trafen. The Jews of Pilitz had heard of all kinds of strange occurrences. Nur as a dibuk soll rein in a kin Peterin, but that dibuk should enter into a woman in labor, und noch dazu in die erste Yemei Tshuva. And in addition to that, in the
Aseres
Yemei Tshuva, and in these days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, das is Naya Anayazach. This was completely new. Alle in Stott haben genommen Läufen, schreien. Everybody in the town was running and screaming. Mamas haben gewohnt, die der wachsene Töchter, sie sollen nicht gehen zu der Dibuk, seiden sie wollen antun, Fartucher von vorn und von hinten. Mothers told their grown daughters that they shouldn't go anywhere near this Dibuk unless they were wearing an apron in front and in the back, kind of protection. Bachurim und Chederjängler haben sich euch geprüft, reinstuppen in der Cheder, wo Sarah ist gelegen, an euch gedeckte, und die Weiber haben verzäumt, weil sie dem Weg. So boys or young men, bachurim, and cheder boys were trying to get into the room, push into the room. And Sarah was laying there uncovered, and the wives, the women, blocked their path. Emes hat sich angestoßen an dem Bänkel, wo es ist gestanden das Scherbele mit Eil, und das Lämmel hat sich verloschen. Somebody had pushed the stool where they were standing, this little candle with oil, or this little oil pot, and the flame went out. Mir hat geprüft, wie der Anzünden bei dem Feuer in Oven, aber in der Gedrang hat sich ausgegossen dem Eil. But somebody tried to light it again in the oven, but in all of this gedrang and this congestion and this crowd, the oil spilled out. Jene, was haben sich gefunden in a wenig, haben gewollt a Haus. Die Dreusendicker haben sich gestupt rein. Those that were inside were trying to get out, and those that were outside were pushing to get in. Mir hat sich gestoßen bei der Tür, und der Knäuel hat sich nicht gerührt von oben. They were pushing at the door, and the Knäuel, it's like, what is it, a cloud of smoke, had not moved from the earth. Was this from the candle where it had fallen? It is gewesen wie yeah.
I think the Knoil is the crowd, or the bunch of people.
They didn't move.
Some were pushing in and others were pushing out. And nobody moved.
Nobody moved. It is gewesen wie a Meshugas, wollt allem in befallen. It was like there was a craziness over everybody. Hebler und Kopkes seien herabgefallen. Hoods and head coverings fell down. Kleider haben gekommen, Gewaltriesen. dresses were ripped. There was like a sense of wildness here. By a Weibel hat sich gehat übergerissen a Schnirl Klerlen. By a certain woman, a little string of beads was broken. Jedes Mal hat sich a Haus gerissen, a neue Leole. Every time there was a new wail, die Finsternis hat angeworfen auf Saren a Pachad, und sie hat genommen rufen in zwei Leshones, a word in Yiddish, a word in Polish. And the darkness threw on Sarah a fear, and she started to speak in two languages, a word in Yiddish and a word in Polish. Elke.
Warum hat gemacht finster? How did you make it so dark? Ich leb noch. Ich bin noch nicht in Kever. I'm still alive. I'm not in the grave. Sind on a licht. Put a light. Wo is Yaakov? Where is Yaakov? Wo is Yaakov? Hat mich euch verlassen? Has he also abandoned me? Hat schon vergessen sein Wandern? Has he forgotten his Wander? Wer is Wander? Who's Wander? Hat Emmett gerufen. Somebody cried out. Mach lichtig. Starb. Make it light. I'm dying. Hat die Kinvetterin sich zerheult. Make it light. I'm dying. The woman in labor said. Sich gehört, does it mean she said it to herself?
No, she cried out. She yelled.
She yelled.
Okay. Man hat gefunden a Kindle und anzünden. They found a little child.
No. It's not a Kindle like electronic reader. It's a match.
No, they found a match and they kindled the light. Feierdicke Schottens haben genommen tanzen über die Wand. Fiery shadows were dancing on the wall. In der halber Finsternis haben alle Ponymer ausgewiesen verkrimmt. And in the half darkness, all of the faces were distorted. Die Hebam was his gehata Reus in Dreusen, the midwife who had gone outside, hat sich funznei durchgerissen durch dem Gedrang. I'm needing help with that beginning of that sentence. Yaakov, could you help me?
So the midwife who had gone outside, once again, she durchgerissen, she sort of tore her way through the crowd.
Thank you.
Gedrang is a crowd.
Was ist dir? Wer is Wanda? What's going on here? Who is Wanda? Quetsch dich, Tochter. Quetsch dich. Quetsch dich. What does that mean?
Push.
Push, daughter. Push. Is zu groß. He's too big. Gerot da rein in sein Tatele. He's like his father. Is die Kindvetterin sich vergangen auf Polish. the woman in labor said in Polish, reißt arois meine kishkes. He's tearing up my innards. Wer bist du? Who are you? Wie bist du rein?
Oh, der Kind verteren hat opgewaret a while. So what, the labor waited for a little while? The labor pains? Says ihr
No,
mit amul gewonnen Chlor was sie hat opgetien. So says ihr mit amul. So she had a little bit getun chlor was. She put something white on. She put something white on. Sie hat
No,
gehabt.
no. It was clear, it became clear to her what she had done. It
Oh,
suddenly became clear to her what she had done. She had revealed herself.
I see. Sie hat gehabt ausgegeben sich in Jekben.
Jacobin. Jacobin.
Oh, Jekben. Wow. Sie hat gehabt aus. So she gave her. I don't know what that is. The Jekben.
She reveals the secret,
Oh.
her secret and Jacob.
Oh, her and Jakob. Okay. Die Krämpfen haben sich auf a while gehabt, upgelost, and sie is something. What, the pains subsided for a while?
Mhm,
Labor pains, yes.
Yeah.
mhm.
So they let up a little bit, huh? Liegen Benumen inge tinken in Schweiß. So she was like drenched in sweat. What was that? She was overtaken and drenched in sweat.
She was like somebody who was possessed, like who was possessed. She was like possessed, Benumen. Benumene.
So what
She
is
was
that?
like,
Eingetinken in Schweiß. Well, she was drenched in sweat.
Right.
yeah,
Uh,
she's in labor.
yeah. So mit nasse Haar with wet hair, mit geschweißline Lippen, with something with her lips, geschwollene Lippen, with swollen
Geschwollene.
lips, yeah,
Hmm.
and a geschwollener nose, and a swollen nose. An ungewöhnliche Schwachkeit. I don't know what that word is. That ungewöhnliche. What would that word be?
Ungewöhnliche and extraordinary.
Yeah, ungewöhnliche
Okay.
Schwerkeit, or a profound heaviness, hat sie heringenommen, and kind of took her. Die Fies seien gelegen wie zwei Klötze. So her legs or her feet look like two pieces of wood,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Logs,
So,
yeah.
so and the Finger von die Hand seien sich gehabt wie zu wachsen. And the fingers of her hands grew, right?
It
Or
seemed
became,
to grow longer.
yeah. Wanda hat schon gewusst, was a Dybbuk is. So Wanda knew what a Dybbuk was. Sie hat aufgehört, die Weiber schmissen der Finn. So the wives hat aufgehört. They stopped talking.
No, she knew what they meant when they were talking about a Dybbuk being inside her because she had often heard women talking, schmoozing about this kind of thing
Uh-huh.
when she was living in the town.
Oh, okay. Wer bist die? Who are you? Wie soll bist die Aran in der Schran? How did you get into the Schran? What is that?
Sora,
Huh?
Soran. How did you get into Sora?
Oh, how did you get into Sora? Hat jene überge Gits die Werte übergesicht, übergesicht die Welt.
Gechazet.
Say again.
Ibegechazet.
Übergeharget.
Ibegechazet with a
Oh,
Zion.
übergechazet. So they got the Werte. I don't understand what that means.
Repeated.
Huh?
Yeah, one of the women repeated the words.
And how do you pronounce it? Übergechazet.
Ibegechazet.
Ibergechazet.
Übergechazet. Doesn't chazet mean to soil?
It's not, no, you're wrong. It's Ibergeharget.
No, it's a Zion. It's a Zion, not a Gimel.
It's
Ibergechazet.
Ibergechazet.
Ibegechazet. So that's what I'm asking. Is vachazet something that's soiled or got dirty?
Repetition.
No,
Okay.
To return.
yeah. The
Okay.
word lachzor in Hebrew means to return, and it comes from to repeat,
Aha.
to say
Okay.
again.
No, ich bin Aran ich bin do. I got in and I'm here. Hat Sora gerät. Sora said, "Was geht es dich un? What's the matter to you? Geht aras fin dannen. Get out of here. Leave here. Get. Zagaitzich. Something is melting.
No,
Or,
leave.
she's
Leave
leaving.
here.
Zagaitzach. Okay.
Yeah, people get out of here.
Stop ach do nicht huben. I don't need you here. Das ganz Gesemmel, das ganze Gesemmel, this whole collection or this whole group. Huh? Is that right, Jakob?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what is a Gesemmel?
A Gazemel is the whole group of people, the whole crowd.
Okay. Ihr sind mir alle Säunen. You were all like enemies. Blutige Säunen, bloody enemies. Sie hat das als Gerät auf Polish. Oh, she said all this in Polish. Wow. Okay. Where is the the Wanda? Huh? Where's the bathtub?
No, Vanda is the person.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me for being so ignorant with all this. Some of my Yiddish is good and some of it ain't.
No. It's just because you haven't been with us with the story. Vanda is the person.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Wie is Wanda, huh? Where Z is Z. Well, wherever she is, she is. Get a Reus von Dana. Geht raus von Dana. Leave here. Lass mich sterben in Ruhe. Let me die in peace. What ich, ich bete, I beg of you. Hat euch mir Rachmunas, have pity on me. Die Krämpfen haben sie wieder angehabt. The pains overtook her again. Sie hat genommen schreien mit der benummener Stimme. And she started screaming or crying with a really pronounced voice. Right? Can you hear me okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
now Yankiv take over.
Yankov should read.
Okay. Sis von Snai geworden a Stupenisch. Once again, there began a pushing. Yaakov is ongekommen. Yaakov had arrived. Is ihm schon gehabt a kegen gelaufen unsogen, as in Soren is a reiner Dibuk. And somebody had already run towards him to tell him, to report to him that a Dibuk had got into Sarah. Hat sich, wie es ist, durchgerissen durch dem Gesemmel. Somehow he pushed his way through the crowd. Was tut sich da? Was tut sich da? What's going on here? What's going on here? Hat gefragt, sei mit Schreck und sei mit Verdruss. So, what's going on here? He asked, both in fear and in annoyance. Die Dibuk redt von ihrer Reus, hat Emmets gerufen. The Dibuk is talking out of her, somebody called out. Sie redt Polish. Sie heißt Wanda. She's speaking Polish, and the Dibuk is called Wanda. Yaakov hat sich abgeschockelt. So Yaakov shuddered. Wo is die Hebam? Where is the midwife? Sarah's Lippen haben sich ausgekrimmt wie a Spott. Sarah's lips twisted as if in derision. Die Hebam kann mir nicht helfen, hat sie gesagt auf Polish. The midwife can't help me, she said in Polish. Dein Sohn ist zu groß für mein Scheiß. Your son is too big for my choice for my literally my womb,
Yeah.
my lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wir gehen beide weg hin. Both of us are going there. We're both about to die. Und Sora hat gewiesen mit dem Kopf on der Seite zum Besalem. And Sora moved her head in the direction of the Besalem, the cemetery. Yaakov ist geblieben stehen. Hat nicht gewusst, was zu sagen. Yaakov remained standing and he didn't know what to say. Als ist gewinn verloren. Everything was lost. Der Zar und die Busche haben wie abgenommen sein loschen. The pain and the shame, it was as if they had taken his language away. He couldn't speak. Ratevitzi mentioned hat also getan. Ratevitzi, save her, people. He said, save her. Keiner kon mich mehr nicht retten, Jakob. Nobody can save me now, Jakob. Hat die Kimpetoren gerettet. The woman in labor said, in other words, Sarah. Die Machschäfer hat mir schon lang gesagt, als ich hab nicht kein Jahren. The witch has said long ago that I have no time left, I have no years left. Jetzt sehe ich, als sie ist gewinn gerecht. And now I see that she was correct. Sei mir Meuchel, Jakob, sei mir Meuchel. Forgive me, Jakob, forgive me. Wer bist du? Von wann stammst du? Hat Emmett gefragt. Who are you? Where do you come from? Somebody asked. Bringt dem Rov, bringt dem Rov. Hat an andere Idene gerufen. Bring the rabbi, bring the rabbi. Another woman called out. Man kann dem Dibuk treiben. One can exercise the Dibuk. Zu spät, Menschen, zu spät, hat die Kimpetorin gerät. It's too late, people, it's too late, the woman in labor said. Was und wemmen wilt ihr heraustreiben? What and who do you want to chase out, want to exercise? Als irrt mich begroben, weil ich mehr nicht sein zwischen euch und ihr wird versporen mir zu bereden. When I'm buried and I'm not among you anymore, it'll save you speaking ill of me. Ihr sollt nicht meinen, als ich hab nicht gehört eure böswillige Rede. Don't imagine that I didn't hear your malevolent talk. Hat Sarah geändert dem Ton. Sarah changed the tone. Hab alles gehört, aber hab gemusst machen a gute Minute zu der Beiser Spiel. I heard everything, but I had to make a good, make as if, make a good expression for this bad Spiel, this bad game. Jetzt, als ich starb, weiß dem Emmes. Now that I am dying, you know the truth. Ihr ruft sich Jiden, aber ihr halt nicht die Geboten von der Teure. You call yourselves Jews, but you don't observe the laws of the Torah. Ihr halt in ein Davenen und schockelen sich, aber ihr barret allemen und ihr verginnt nicht einer dem anderen das Stickel Brot. You constantly are davening or praying and swaying, but you speak ill of everyone, and you begrudge one another their piece of bread. Euer Schäufet, der Gershon, is a schwindler und a ganef. Your Shofet is a judge
Mhm.
or your leader.
Your
Gershon
leader.
is a swindler and a thief. Der Fahr, weil hat beräubt an ander Ried, was die Kosaken haben der Harget, hat gemacht sein Edem Fahr Rabbin. Und so, the reason is that he robbed another Jew whom the Cossacks had killed, and he made his son-in-law the rabbi of the town. Yaakov is geworden weiß wie Kalch. Yaakov became as pale as Kalch, as lime. Was redest du, Sarah? Was redest du? What are you talking about, Sarah? What are you talking about? Schweig, Yaakov. Das red is, das red ich nicht, nor meine Pein reden von mich heraus. Quiet, Yaakov. This is not me who is speaking, but it's my pain and my suffering which I am speaking out. Ich kann mehr nicht schweigen. I can't keep silent anymore. Yaakov, ich kann mehr nicht. I can't do it anymore. Ich habe abgeschwiegen knappe 2 Jahre und jetzt, als ich starb, muss ich reden. I've kept silent for a whole 2 years, and now, as I die, I have to speak. Wenn nicht, will ich platzen. If I don't speak, I will platzen. I'll explode. Ich dank dir, Jakob. Ich dank dir für alles. I thank you, Jakob. I thank you for everything. Du bist der Geurem von mein Tod. You are the cause of my death. Aber ich warf es dir nicht vor. But I don't
throw it up to you.
I don't cast you aside. Was bist du schuldig? How could you be guilty? Du bist ein Mannsbild. You are a man. Du wirst kriegen ein anderer. You'll marry somebody else. You'll get another woman. Die Weiber da haben dir schon gerettet. The women here have already made a match for you. Die Stadt wird dich nicht lang lassen on kein Weib. The city won't allow you to remain for long without a wife. Bet für mir, Jakob, weil dem Gott von meinen Eltern hab ich weggeworfen. Pray for me, Yaakov, because the God of I've discarded the God of my parents. Und dein Gott wird mich aufnehmen in Himmel. And if God will take me into heaven, das weiß ich nicht. I don't know whether that's going to happen.
And if you're God, see, dying God, and if you're God, will take me.
Yeah, you're God.
Yeah.
And I don't know if your God will take me into heaven. Ob du wirst einmal treffen, meine Schwester Bascha oder mein Bruder Antek, sag sie, wie also seine Schwester ist gestorben. If you were ever to meet my sister Basha and my brother Antek, tell them how their sister died. Was redt sie? Was redt sie? What's she talking about? Haben gerufen Keules von alle Seiten. Voices called out from all sides. Sis a dibuk, a dibuk. It is a dibuk. That's what's speaking is a dibuk. Yo, a dibuk. It's yes, it is a dibuk. Is was wird ihr mir tun? So, what are you going to do with me? Eider ihr wird mich bestrafen, weil ich schon liegen in Käfer zusammen mit meinem Kind. By the time you punish me, I will already be lying in the grave together with my child. Und die Kimpetoren hat mit amol genommen schreien mit a furchtig Keul. And the woman in labor suddenly began to scream with a pious voice. So haben sie wieder ungehabt die Wehen. Once again, the labor pains had begun. Etliche Weiber haben genommen sich Beiseren auf Jakoben, soll raus von der Stube. Several women began to scold Yaakov and to tell him to leave the room. They haben him rausgestupt in draußen, and they pushed him outside. Seinen dort gestanden Mannsleid, euch mädlich und weiblich, was haben sich nicht gekonnt reinreißen in dem ungepackten Cheder. Outside were standing men and young girls and young women who were not able to push themselves into this closely packed room. Man hat geredet zu Jakoben, ihm gefragt Sachen, aber hat nicht geantwortet. They spoke to Yaakov and they asked him things, but he did not answer. Die Weitig is gewinn zu stark. The pain was too great. Emmett hat gefragt, somebody asked, was bringt man nicht dem Rov? Why don't we bring the rabbi? Mir ist gegangen bringen. They've gone to call him. Früher muss man rauskriegen das Kind und danach dem Dibuk, hat Jid geteinet. First of all, we need to get the child out, and afterwards the Dibuk. One Jew exclaimed. Nu, kriegt es heraus, so get it out. Was will Gershons Weib nicht geben die Schüssel? Why does Gershon's Weib not want to give the bowl? Weil sie is a sehr gut Mensch, because she's such a wonderful person.
Right on.
Yeah, so nu kriegt es heraus. Get the child out. Was will Gershons Weib nicht geben die Schüssel? Why does Gershons Weib not want to give the bowl? Weil sie is a sehr gut Mensch, because she's such a good person. Yeah, and that's ironic.
Yeah.
Was ist der Dibuk? A mansbild an a keva. What is the dibuk? Is it a man or a woman? An a keva, a woman. Ich hab kein Mal nicht gehört, als ein keva soll rein in der andere. I've never heard that a female would dibuk would go into another female. A lange Weile seien alle gewinn still. For a long time, everybody remained silent und sich zugehört zu der Gewinnerins Wehgeschreien. And they listened to the woman in labor's screams of pain. Mansleit haben herabgelost die Kep. Men lowered their heads. Weiber haben verstellt die Penemer, wie verschämt von der weibische Klolle. The women covered their faces as if embarrassed about the feminine curse. Der noch is geworden still, and thereafter everything went quiet. Die Hebom hat a rausgestecktem Kopf. The midwife stuck her head out of the door. Läuft's, bringt a Schüssel. Sie ist vorbei. Go and bring the bowl. It's all done. Jakob hat sich getan a Riss von Ort. Jakob tore himself from where he was standing. Lasst mich herein. Let me come in. Nein, nicht jetzt. No, not now. Der Rav geht. The rabbi is coming. The rabbi is coming. Man hat gesehen von der weitens onkommenden Rav, and they could see the rabbi coming from the distance. Hat nicht gegangen allein. He wasn't walking on his own. Sie ist mitgegangen mit ihm der Schwer Gershon und der Schwager der Scheuchet. Together with him was his father-in-law Gershon and his brother-in-law the Scheuchet. Der Scheuchet hat getrogen in der Hand a Keli und man hat gemeint, als das ist der Schwiegers Schüssel. The Sheikhet was carrying a vessel in his hand, and people imagined that this was the mother-in-law's bowl. Aber wenn hat sich ernenntert, hat man gesehen, als das ist a pan mit Keulen. But when he came near, when he approached, they saw that this was a saucepan or a frying pan with coals. Beim Rov von Keshener hat a rausgestarts a Schäufer. A Schäufer was sticking out of the pocket of the rabbi. Gershon hat gleich befeuillen, die Versammelte sollen optreten. Gershon immediately ordered those who were gathered to move away. Machen avara, to make way for the rabbi to pass. Noch a while is zugekommen Joilichel, der Shammes, mit a Kittel und a Talis. And after a while, Yolichel, the beadle, the shamus, came with a kittel, a white garment, and a talus. Yolichel is euch gewinn der Pilitzer Bagreber, and Yoelichel was also the grave digger of Pilitz. Gershon hat genommen Reiden heuch mit Kolshet Kifes. Gershon began to speak out loud with a communal authority. Weiber, lost rein dem Rov. Women, let the rabbi go in. Megate arois treiben dem dibuk. We're going to exorcise the dibuk. Mekonish rein hat Emets geentfert von inneweinig. It's impossible to come in, somebody answered from inside. Wir können nicht stehen und warten. We can't stand here and wait. Sie ist nicht kein Dibuk, hat Yaakov also getan. There's no dibuk, Yaakov said. Gershon und Yaakov seinen Gewinn Bräuges. Von deswegen hat Gershon afregeton. Both Gershon and Yaakov were angry. Nevertheless, Gershon asked, Vosje then is he? So what's going on? What is she then? Lost sie zurück, leave her alone. Jeden sitzt in ihr nicht gut und wir können nicht zulassen, sie soll verunreinigen die Kehille. Jeden Jews, there's something evil is in her, and we cannot allow it to contaminate the community. Hat Gershon genommen Reden zum Eulam. Gershon began to speak to the crowd. Gekommen zu uns a Belfer und ist geworden a ganzer Takif. An assistant teacher came to us, and he's turned himself into an influential person. It's hat a vibe, was sitzt in ihr Shadis, and now he has a wife who and a demon is sitting in her. Zu Libazoine kommen alle Untergänge. Because of such things, everybody is going to ruin. Früher muss man opnemen das Kind, but first we have to take the child. Hat a jedene gepasken. A woman decreed. Efsher hat sie gar nicht kein Kind. Perhaps she doesn't even have a child. Hat an andere jedene gefragt. Another woman asked. Der Dibuk besetzt sich teilmal in ihr Tracht. Sometimes the dibuk could be sitting in her womb. Hab allein gesehen dem Kopf, but I saw the head. Shadim haben euch Kep. Demons also have heads. Shadim haben Haar. Demons have hair. Nein. Ob das Kind wird bleiben in ihrer Gederem, ist der ganze Yishuv in Sakona. If the child remains in her innards, the whole yishuv, the whole settlement is in danger. Hat der Rov gewarned, the rabbi warned. Efsher kon men blozen shofar do, perhaps we can blow the shofar now. Hat Joelichel gefragt, Joelichel asked. Früher muss man im Masbier sein, beschweren, hat der Rov gepaskend. First of all, we must invoke an oath, the rabbi ruled. Okay.